Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Wednesday, August 16th, and we're at day 21. Wait, no, not 21. 15. Yes, day 15. Sorry, I jumped ahead all week. And yeah, yesterday was definitely interesting, but in some ways it was kind of a rinse and repeat of Monday. So we went from it's all centering around who's going to get evicted, if it's going to be Riley or it's going to be Cameron. And it's more about, are we going to evict Riley or not? Cameron isn't as big of a piece as Riley is, at least for now. It's whether we're going to grant Hisam's wishes and get rid of Riley or go against his wishes and vote her out. And I'm telling you, for a hot minute there, or two yesterday, virtually the entire house was just going to go like, you know what, we're going to vote out Cameron just to prove to Hisam that you can't be a head of household like this. You can't rule like this and tell us what we're going to do, which is kind of what he's done. And I kind of laughed because at some point I made a comment where Hisam was talking about how Riley had been a dictator, and I said, you know, even though he doesn't think he was, and somebody who I think was either anti-Riley or pro-Hisam, or a little of both, kind of said, no, he's not been bad at all. And I just kind of laughed. I'm like, oh no, he's definitely ruling with not an iron fist, but very much this is the way it's going to be. And it's going to be this way because I'm being so honest and truthful with everyone that there's just no other way it can be. It has to be this way. And just lots of discussions about how it's very interesting how every house guest handles their time as head of household. And Hisam's definitely won't be one of the better head of households as far as running things that go. And he thinks he's done well. Although I think maybe he's starting to suspect that maybe it isn't going as well as he thought. But he's not getting much pushback, which I think is what's making him wonder in some ways how it's really going. So all right. So what's going on? The house, because as I said yesterday, at one point they'd almost completely flipped the entire house to vote out Cameron. The holdouts were kind of, I would say, Corey, Jared, and Nicole, a.k.a. Mimi. Those were the three, probably, if I'm thinking of it, let me look at my list. I'd have to say those are the three that were the most against the idea. And I said that I thought, really, Nicole was kind of the biggest pushback. She just didn't understand. She sees, first of all, I think she has a personal axe to grind with Riley. So I think I said that yesterday. She's 30, but she doesn't seem to mesh with any of the people that are younger than her, and that would include America, Blue, and Riley for the women. And so she's got there's a bit of it's not a perfect opinion. She's tainted in some ways, but neither here nor there, doesn't matter. It's the game and this is the way it's going. But just bear in mind that she doesn't want Riley to stay. And so she was going to be the hardest to convince, and she was using the logical reasons, the game reasons as to why she shouldn't stay. But some of the house guests realized that, yeah, but you're also biased. And that was, Cirie was kind of like, she's biased. She's got a problem with her. We'll just have to. At one point yesterday, where I thought, okay, it's going to happen, was when Nicole was talking to Izzy and basically said, well, I don't want to keep Riley in the house, but if that's how the rest of the house is going to vote, I will do it. And I thought, okay, well, there we go. There's the I will do it because everybody else is going to do it. I don't want to be on the wrong side of the house. But it got pushed back. They just started to question themselves. And Cirie, as she's done, just suddenly decided, you know what? I don't think this is going to work. And just like that, they decided, well, maybe we should flip it back. And it's her and Izzy talking. And it was really, I thought it was kind of strange. And then she and Izzy talked and said, I'm not sure. And then Nicole came into the storage room and they talked to her and said, we're back to 50-50 as far as keeping Riley or evicting her. And it went from that within less than 10 minutes to Riley happened to check in with Cirie, and it was just the two of them. And she just suddenly said, I don't think the vote's happening. And it was like, whoa, what? You're telling Riley this? Why are you telling Riley this? I don't know if she was doing it as a game move, or if she just is that sudden in her changes. I don't know. I want to give her credit and say that, she was planting this with Riley so Riley could go to bat for herself and try to save herself. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I think she just didn't know what to say to Riley when Riley came and plopped down on her bed in the comic room, and that's what she said. It put Riley into a bit of a spin. She went talked to Matt and to Jag, and Jag just kept giving her reasons of how to argue her case and her point and everything. But I don't know. There's so much more going on here. It's just, again, this is the first few weeks is the way it goes. It's craziness, but it really is crazy. But we say it every year. Oh, this is crazy. No, it's always this chaotic. It really is. We just don't remember it because we go on for 2 more months after the initial chaos. And so we kind of forget how crazy this first week is when you've got, 15, 16 people running around, engaged in maneuvering. And these guys are really open about, they know the sides. They think they know the sides. They don't even anymore know. The sides have become extremely blurred because people are working in sub-alliances with each other. And that was part of Hisam's downfall in the past couple of days, is that he's, in theory, proposed alliances with like Jag and Blue and who else? America, I think, what was America? I don't remember. I'm sorry. He's said things that have basically gone against this professor's alliance, where they said we're only working, we're not doing any kind of side things unless we agree to it, but we're not going to do it. But suddenly he was doing side things. It appeared he was doing side things, and word got back to Cirie and Izzy, who honestly just assume he is, even though I didn't think he was at one point on Monday night. So that's a whole nother rub. This is all about Hisam and what's best for Hisam and how they can manage him, because he's a big competitor. And whether to keep Riley or not, who's considered as a big competitor too, even though she didn't do well in the last couple of power vetoes. Oh, by the way, there is a show tonight. Don't forget that. Where we will see the power veto that Hisam wins, and apparently Riley wasn't close to winning. So for whatever it's worth, I guess that they made it sound like she was not close. Matter of fact, I think Cameron was closer than she was to winning the power veto whenever we see it. And maybe we can suss out why it took 19 hours to do, if there's anything that we can figure out that why it would take 19 hours or why the fees were off for 19 hours. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But that's like yesterday's news. That's old news. So today, as they went to bed, as far as I know, it was looking again like Riley is going to get voted out on Thursday. But there's a reason that the longtime Big Brother peoples call this Waffle Wednesday. Because they waffle, they flip and they flop, and they will do it again today for sure. And then there's Thursday, and the problem is the feeds tend to be down a lot on Thursday, so things can happen that we don't know about. So I suspect going into Thursday's show, we're not going to know for sure. We may figure it out pretty quick when the feeds come on, based on maybe if Riley is all dressed up really nice and everybody else is in some kind of athletic gear or something. But we won't, I don't think we'll know 100% going into Thursday night's show until the feeds click on. It'll be a pretty solid vote one way or the other. And again, I don't think Hisam will be blindsided. They may have a talk with him before the show and say, look, you know what, we're done with this. we're gonna we're just not we're not happy with this, and you're not getting your way because just because you think you run the house doesn't mean you didn't run it very well. So this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's all tomorrow. Let's get through today. We'll see. Lots of action today. Should be interesting. Should be lots of talking going on. They are locked down inside the house. They've been locked down all day yesterday. And that's adding to the trying to find places to get arrayed and talk. They've been using the have-not room a lot, which, by the way, there are no have-nots this week. So there you go. Week 2, and there are no have-nots. They just don't use it much. It's a TV bit, and it's kind of almost Big Brother lore at this time, even though they didn't start that until season 11, I think. So, it's whatever. I just don't like it. Nobody's eating slop this week. They're eating whatever they want. It's just a convenient thing they throw out every once in a while now. So, all right, that's what's up. I was going to go over each house guest and talk about where I thought they stood, but I ended up talking about other stuff, and it's a short one this morning. So, you guys have a good Wednesday. I may be back later. Oh, that's right. I did one last night. Yeah, I did one last night. So since I did the one last night, it kind of flipped back the other way again. Go figure. But that's it for now. You guys have a good Wednesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow or maybe again later today if it looks like it's flipping around again. There's no reason that it couldn't happen again and be worth talking about. So maybe some more exciting stuff will happen. But either way, don't forget, you can watch the feeds anytime on Pluto TV if you want to fire it up. You just can't rewind. You can't go back. But you can watch it live at any moment. It's about 3 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes behind the Paramount feeds. But that doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And I think, by the way, the house feeds themselves are it looks like about 7 minutes or so behind live action. They opened up the feeds, they were talking yesterday, and they were checking the time, at least based on the clocks in the house. They announced the time was like 8:23, and it was 8:30 in reality, in real time. So that would seem to indicate about a 7-minute gap. It could be 10, it could be less. They set the clocks to whatever they want to in the house, right? I mean, it could be an hour difference. We just don't know for sure. But we assume that it's fairly close to live. And there have been earthquakes and stuff that have happened that we've been able to track it. And if it had been an hour's different, we would have noticed and said, you know what, they're a whole hour different. So that's it, guys. I have arrived at my work, and I will talk to you guys later today or tomorrow. All right. Big shout out to all my patrons. Thank you to everybody else for listening. And again, holler at me if you have any questions or anything. Other than that, we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.